Actually, some good work was done here in the United States in the last 15, 20 years around water conservation. New buildings had to have low flush toilets and so on in some states. A lot of states are breaking that. But there, there are very basic things that we can do. From making sure, again, back here to the U.S., making sure the infrastructure is repaired so we're not losing water and we're not pumping out dirty water from these old pipes. That would make a huge difference. It would mean once people really trust their tap water, they could stop drinking bottled water. They should stop it anyway, but they would really, the more they trust their tap water, the less they're likely to do that, which means you stop pumping the aquifers so fast. More sustainable agriculture, and there's a lot of people turning to local organic food production. We're saying things like, when you buy flowers on Valentine's Day, buy local. If they've come from far away, they've probably come from situations where some water is being destroyed in some community. I mean, we just put out a report about the flower industry around Lake Naivasha in Kenya, in the Rift Valley, where Out of Africa was filmed, that gorgeous film Out of Africa. And it's being destroyed by the European rose industry. Rose as in roses, flowers. These big businesses have surrounded the lake because growing roses is water intense and they don't want to use the water in Europe, so they're using the water here, right? And they're destroying the lake. It'll be, and I quote, a putrid puddle in 5 to 10 years. This gorgeous lake where Robert Redford, you could see, I was there, I could see Robert Redford landing his plane and Meryl Streep saying hello. I mean, it was just beautiful. It's going to be a dead lake. And it's got the last wild hippopotamus herd in East Africa. I mean, it's really a tragedy. And this is just a story that's repeating itself all over the world. So yes, there are many reclamation projects, but they do, I really think, mean that we're going to have to think differently about all our economic systems. We're going to have economic policies that promote and support local production, local, more organic, sensible food production. The Green Revolution in the Third World was a disaster because it used chemicals, and those chemicals needed way more water so that you could disperse the chemicals, and so they just dried up entire regions. And so we're going to have to come back to things people knew a long time ago. A lot of the indigenous knowledge, a lot of the knowledge that our farmers had before we started industrial farming. And our cities, we're going to have to build different cities. We're going to have to build cities that have lots of parks. I love your park here. I jogged in Central Park this morning. Green things on our roofs, roof gardens, and leaving the rivers and the streams so that we build around, we don't build over. This dominance of humans, that we can somehow master nature. Got to get rid of that. Got to come to a place where we're more respectful of the earth that gave us life and the water that sustains that life.